guys, how's it going? So this is a match in EBI between Gio Martinez and Eddie Cummings. An interesting match. They went into overtime, so now they have to start in either the spiderweb or back mount and start kind of having almost like penalty kick rounds where they will attempt to get a submission, and sometimes they get ride time calculated if they don't get the submission, or and so I'm not exactly sure how they score it overall. However, if you get a submission and your opponent can't submit you in the same round, then you win. And that's what happens here with Gio Martinez and Eddie Cummings. So Gio Martinez is going to start the spider web, and he's going to immediately start going for an arm crusher. So I just think it's an interesting spot here, and kind of an important thing to show what fails with this arm crush. So he basically goes to it already. He's already got the arm crush, and you can see that the leg's over the top right here, leg up over the top. That's the arm crusher over the top. A little bit difficult to see from this angle, but we'll see it from other angles in a second. And he's going to lock it up, and he's going to start putting pressure on the bicep. So the reason why, and this is a much better angle here, the reason why this arm crusher is not finishing Eddie Cummings right now is because Eddie Cummings' arm, which you can see right here, is basically, it's not, it's in the V shape of Gio Martinez's leg. So in order to have a more effective arm crusher, what you would need is Gio Martinez's leg to be more flat like this. So this leg right here would need to be more flat, and this knee would need to be rotated down and kind of be here like this. And there would have to be a gap right in this section here, and that gap right there would be the gap between the knee and the arm. So that's actually how you get the most effective arm crusher. It's because you can get the most pressure going downwards on the arm, and with that case, of course, since your arm's involved, it will start separating the elbow joint. So that's how it works. However, there's a problem with the most effective arm crusher. It's that there's this gap here, right? So what happens when somebody just shoves their arm into the gap? And that's a real question, right? Because if somebody shoves their arm into the gap, then you get back to this situation where the arm is underneath the V of the knee, like it is here. So the most effective arm crusher, or the one that has the most power, is not necessarily the safest one from a control standpoint, right? So or not necessarily even the one that's the easiest to continue to maintain. So since there's that kind of dissonance between those two types of arm crushers, Gio's kind of elected to take the one that is less likely to be finished but gives greater control. And this kind of plays into the rule set here, where there's a ride time element, where if he doesn't get the finish, he wants to get maximum amount of ride time, so that the escape time for Eddie Cummings is very long. And so that's kind of an interesting choice that he's elected to make. But there's other ways that you can get this to finish, and so we'll take a look at how Gio does this here in a second. He's basically going to go from the arm crusher and transition back into an arm bar as Eddie Cummings tries to escape. So we'll take a look through. He's holding the leg. Still has the arm crusher. Eddie Cummings is trying to deal with the foot that's behind his head and trying to peel it off. And then as that happens, he's eventually going to try to do a kick up right here, trying to get to his knees for a second. That's going to fail because Gio goes back to grabbing the leg. And then from here, he's finally got the foot off his face, right, and out from underneath his face. It's starting to go back underneath his head for a moment, but he's fighting it again. And eventually he's going to try to come up to his feet in order to escape here. So he's trying to get up to his knees, gets to the knees, and then from here we're going to see that as he gets up to his knees and his feet, he's controlling this foot, trying to yank his arm out, right? But he's going to lose control of that foot for a moment. So he goes here, loses control of the foot for a moment, and then Gio Martinez is going to go belly down here, and that's going to be the end of it. And he taps. So we'll watch it full speed really quick. And gets the finish. So quite an interesting spot there.